Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Is BLK Prime setting a new promotion trend? That's the question I have. Because when you look at BLK Prime kind of being the new kids on the block when it comes to boxing, signing fighters, promoting boxing events, they're kind of getting some flack right now from the boxing community as a whole, where they feel that BLK Prime, when it comes to how they promoted the Crawford fight with 5, 6, 7 clips. I think there was one clip of Crawford, maybe it was about 30 seconds, 45 seconds long, but nothing more than 1 minute, right? Very, very limited promotion, in my opinion, and I would say that collectively is the opinion of the overall boxing community. Those are avid boxing fans and casual boxing fans. And for a lot of people, they feel that what BLK Prime is doing in regard to promoting the Crawford fight is laughable. They took jabs at the background that they had at the press conference. They're taking jabs at the little backdrop they had for Terrence Crawford when he was signing for him. The backdrop when Adrian Broner was signing. She's talking about how it was all wrinkled. Definitely didn't look professional. And they're kind of judging that and saying, if they can't put together a quality promotion that, in their opinion, looks very professional, then obviously this company doesn't have the money to pay the fighters. Now, I have been paying attention to what promotion has been out there for Crawford, Evander. There's absolutely been no promotion for the undercards. A little mention of Chris Cyborg because she's the big name. But maybe we should look at it this way. When you have these other promoters, these big promoters, right? And they put on these big events. Like Crawford is a big name, but is his event a big event? I don't think it is a big event. I think he's a big name, but it's not a big event. So I think when you look at these promoters that put on huge events with huge names, right? Sometimes millions of dollars go into the promotion. That's because they expect a handsome return on their investments. Okay? Now, when you look at how much money goes into some of these promotions, it's a lot of money, man. And then you look at the purses for some of the fighters. I'm not talking about the main event. I'm talking about the guys on the undercard. If there was a way to effectively promote the fight without putting, let's say, 75% of the cost towards promotion and maybe using that money to increase the purse of the fighters, then why not? Now, I'm not saying that's what BLK Prime is doing. What I'm doing is I'm trying to look at this a little bit differently from what we're accustomed to seeing, and to try to get an understanding of what BLK Prime is doing. Now, at the same time, there hasn't been, 6 or 7 months of promoting the fight, planning the fight. No matter what anybody has to say about Bud Crawford and when he initially started talking to BLK Prime, they haven't had that kind of lead time to build up to this event that's taking place on December 10th. But at the same time, if they're going to pay somebody the kind of money they're looking to pay Crawford, they don't have the lead time there to build the fight the way they want, then they're probably going to look for ways to cut costs and still somewhat make the promotion of this fight somewhat effective. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Although they haven't put a lot of money into videos, into what's that shit that we like watching? HBO had that run not 24/7. Man, you guys know the shows I'm talking about, man, where they have like the series You get to see the boxers in the training camps and doing stuff, man. They don't have that here. Man, I fucking, oh man. Man, I'm bugging because I'm trying to think of, was it all access, right? My mind was going crazy. I was like, man, what the hell? But they're not putting the money into those shows for them. But I would have to say, maybe they didn't need all access and HBO. I can't remember what the hell. I don't even want to Google it, 24/7 or whatever. But I'm probably wrong with that. But I can't remember what the hell it's called, even though I used to watch them all. But they didn't need that, in my opinion, because social media, man. Everybody was talking about Bud Crawford's decision to fight Evanescence. That it was all over YouTube, all over social media, all over Twitter, all over ESPN, and anyone who's talking sports. They were mentioning Crawford's name and how he's fighting on this unknown platform. So in my opinion, that was just as much, or maybe the promotion just as good. Now, we're going to find out this weekend just how good the promotion was, or just how poorly promoted the fight was, depending on the numbers. Now, we're seeing people talk about BLK Prime not knowing what they're doing, they're poorly promoting the fight, and they anticipate the fight generating maybe 7,000 pay-per-view buys, 10,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, I'll tell you this. I personally think this could get somewhere up to 100,000 pay-per-view buys. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? When you think about Russia, Armenia, there's a lot of people out there who are going to support Evanescence. Like, this is a big deal for Evanescence and his team, and for the Russians, and also for the Armenian people. And I'm telling you right now, they're talking about this fight in those countries. Now, will it get to 100,000 pay-per-view buys? I mean, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did. There are a lot of people in Russia, although there's a lot of stuff going on out there right now. There's a lot of people in Armenia, in the neighboring countries, and a lot of people who are going to come through and support Evanescence. If they can do 100,000 pay-per-view buys, then that's a win. I mean, it really is a win for BLK Prime. And I'm not even going to say Bud Crawford and Evanescence, but for BLK Prime, I would consider that a win. But the price point of $40, I mean, that's not bad. When you look at guys like Deontay Wilder, one of my favorite fighters, not because he's my favorite, one of my favorite, because of this man turned to boxing, fighting for his daughter, and what he was able to do. That's the reason why he's one of my favorite. You look at him coming out, he's a well-known name. He brings action to the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's powerful. It's exciting. Big-time knockout artist. But he doesn't even do 80,000 pay-per-view sales. Now, I get it. The price point, probably double what the price point is to watch Crawford and Evanescence. But at the same time, he can't even crack 80,000 pay-per-view buys. So that just tells you that I don't think it has anything to do with Wilder. I don't think it has anything to do with these boxers who aren't selling 500,000 to 1 million pay-per-view buys. Because when you look at how many illegal streams are out there, people want to see the event. They just don't want to pay the money. So we're going to see exactly how this plays out for BLK Prime and Crawford and Evanescence. But if it does work out for them, I wouldn't be surprised if other people kind of follow suit and try to figure out ways to cut their costs on promoting. You look at what DAZN is doing. They got this guy, Ak and Barack out here. They hired them. Now they're out here doing these episodes talking about boxing. You even see that guy, Ariel Helwani, or whatever his name is, from the MMA world getting involved in some of boxing. So you see a lot of different people who've had platforms and they've been able to graduate to a much bigger platform where they're getting paid to help talk about fights and promote fights. And there's a cost associated with that. But if they're able to somewhat, kind of scale back on those costs and put that money into the fighters and still effectively promote the fight, I can't see why they shouldn't. And I definitely can't see why other promoters wouldn't benchmark the approach that BLK Prime is taking. If in fact their goal was to do, as I'm saying, is to cut the promotion costs, keep it simple, put the money into the fighters, and try to maybe start a new trend. But maybe at the same time, this is their first event. Maybe there's a little bit of ignorance on their part, not really knowing how to go about promoting the event the right way. Maybe they didn't want to put so much money into it because they didn't have time to put together a team to create these episodes, to follow the fighters and their journeys. You know, that's just my opinion. And hey, I could be wrong, but I'm trying to look at this instead of laughing at what they're doing. Look at it and say maybe there's some strategy here. Maybe these guys are looking at it and they're telling themselves, you know what, everyone's laughing at us right now, but at the end of the night, we're going to be laughing at them because we're showing them how to do things a different way and, you know, still be effective and still make a whole lot of money. Now that's just being overly optimistic. You know, at the same time though, we got to be real about how it's looking. Right now, I think the verdict's still out. And I'll tell you what, because if anyone's still speaking negatively about BLK Prime and their platform and Terrence Crawford going over there and they're concerned about the money, they don't need to be, in my opinion. Vanessian's been paid. Crawford, I believe, has been paid already. All of his money. Vanessian, all of his money. So, obviously, the BLK Prime they're doing something right. Now, going forward into the next events, you know, who knows how that's going to play out. But I don't think there should be any concern about checks bouncing like what Regis Prograis went through because Crawford and Vanessian have all their money already. It's just a matter of these guys getting into the ring and fighting. But that's just my 2 cents. I do think that maybe BLK Prime is setting the promotion trend, man, the promotional trend. And if it works out, I can see them continuing this way. But as this platform grows, like you talk about Adrian Broner, I don't know who they're going to put him in the ring with, right? But there needs to be something where they get a team together and they posting it on YouTube. Like, you got to put something out there because I'm going to be quite honest with you. You got All Access. I can't remember what that was called on HBO, man. Is it 24/7 or whatever? And then you got these other videos that are like episodes or series that are created to try to kind of track fighters and see what they're doing in the build up to the fight. That's entertaining. So I think at some point BLK Prime, they need to figure out a way to do that, but you know, do it in a way to where they don't need to have a $1 million, $2 million budget. You know what I'm saying? I think they can keep that budget less than $10,000 because I tell you what, I got enough skill and editing skill and enough equipment to where I could follow the fighters around. It just take a lot of time. And I can shoot the videos and edit it, and I can put together something that's a quality product that would keep us all entertained. No, it's not going to be as refined as the crap like HBO is putting together, Showtime's putting together, but it won't be far from that. Okay? So that's just my 2 cents. But that being said, I think people are going to hate no matter what because Crawford's not fighting Spence, and I understand the frustration. But at the same time, maybe people can learn from what BLK Prime is doing. But then at the same time, maybe not. But that's my 2 cents. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. Shout out to everybody from all 7 continents. And I'm in the breeze.